Y'all, we've got to talk about Mia's latest interview with The Gossip, okay? We're getting a lot of reveals, a lot of great tea that was spilled, and some things that we may not have necessarily recognized. So let's get into this, shall we? All right. So while this wasn't the main focus of the interview, one of the things that I found really, really interesting was when Danny Canada, the managing editor over at Gossip, asked Mia about the accusations against Chris Bassett. And they talked a little bit about Deborah, but also about Mia's own admission that she felt as though Chris Bassett was staring at her. So Mia goes on to clear up that when she said that in the scene, it was edited to make it seem as though she was saying that he was staring at her just in general. But she says what was left out of the scene was that she said to Robin that he was staring at her because she looked crazy. Now, by crazy, I mean, for her, she was saying that she felt like she looked crazy because she had lost weight. She was on different medication. She says that she was pale. So she immediately says that she called Candace to apologize. And then she also says that she talked to production. And then the next time we saw the scene in a flashback, they indicated or showed the correct scene. Now, I would have to go back to look at it, these episodes in its entirety. But that was just kind of something that made me go, One of the things that I do understand about reality television is that it can be manipulated. You know what I'm saying? And we've heard a lot of people talk about this, but I hate when it's manipulated to make the audience think something and maybe that's not exactly the way it happened. I mean, I'm a fan of telling a great story, but I'm also a fan of telling a story that actually happened the way that it happened. So if that is the case, it does give me a little bit of side eye for production because I'm like, no, production, y'all don't need to do all that. But anyway, she also goes on to talk about, her situation with Wendy. And one of the reasons why she wanted to make up with Wendy was because she felt like they needed to move forward. She wanted to extend an olive branch. But I kind of thought, I don't know why she didn't accept the apology that Wendy initially gave her when Wendy apologized in the group at the table when they were in Miami. But Mia does go on to say that she really does enjoy Wendy and she doesn't understand why they can't get on the right page. She goes on to clarify the statement about including Eddie and Gordon in the four-way that she mentioned on Watch What Happens Live. And she says for her that, she wanted to be respectful of their husbands, such that should anything have occurred between the two of them, then that would have been something that they would have needed to consider, their husband's approval. So there's that. Let's get on to what she had to say about Jacqueline, okay? Because Mia really dives deep into some things that we also didn't see. She says that she and Jacqueline both went low with each other, and some of that we didn't actually get to see on the show. But she also goes on to say that she and Jacqueline fight all the time and that has been their relationship since they were 15. She says there's nothing new here. The challenge is that because it's so mainstream now, you guys don't get a chance to see all of what really happened before we got to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so done. I just don't want to deal with her anymore. Not right now. I just need a break. I need a breather. Okay. She says, I have gone years without talking to Jacqueline before because we're just not able to meet eye to eye and we fight so much, and she may not like my friend group at the time, and so she doesn't want to be involved with what I'm doing. So this is nothing new. So us fighting, I am surprised that we took it to the platform. I really was hoping that we could keep it separate and she could read me for filth behind the scenes and that we could be friends to show the world that there is love there, but we just couldn't do it. All right. Now, she does also go on to say the challenge also, too, is that there is a lot of love there. Jacqueline is, I do consider her my sister, and sisters fight. We do. We're brutal. We're probably worse than girlfriends. And the hard part is that I have her family as I consider them my family. And so now it's like we're torn. I talked to her sister. I talked to her mom, and they're all like, what do we do? How do we fix it? And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to this because there were so many people involved, but it hurt my heart because I feel like we've gone through so much. We should have been able to keep it separate. She then goes on to say that she hasn't directly spoken to Jacqueline because she feels like Jacqueline is not ready to listen. She says that she thinks that Jacqueline wants to be a victim and she can't conversate with that. All right. So, my thing is, I just think that moving forward, reality television stars should never bring their absolute best friends onto the show. I don't know. Here it is. This is the thing. I don't want to say that because I think that this type of drama is always compelling. We look back at, Kim Richards and Kyle Richards as sisters. We think about the dynamic between Teresa, Joe, and Melissa. And when you look at these deep-rooted familial connections, and when they become broken, it really does tear a rift in the dynamics of the group. Even if that dynamic wasn't the main dynamic, as was the case with Mia and Jacqueline, because they're so new. But it's still kind of compelling nonetheless. But at the end of the day, you still hate to see it because in real life, they do feel like real sister friends. You know what I'm saying? So this is a hard watch. It just always makes me think back on Candy and Phaedra and how that fell apart. And it was painful to watch, even as you could see the train beginning to wreck and it did not make it any better. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of think that, I don't know, this is an unfortunate situation. However, it almost sounds like Mia is at least somewhat willing to entertain the idea of a reconciliation, which honestly is a far cry from something that she posted on February 3rd when she says, known her since 15. We went years not speaking to each other, but as soon as I started receiving fame, she became obsessed. Oh, and also for the record, I lived with her for a few months until she got jealous and caused her parents to kick me out. And that was part 4 of a series of posts in which she was clarifying rumors and things that were being said about her online, which she felt like were untrue. So let us know down in the comments section down below. Can Jacqueline and Mia find their way back to friendship again? Or is this a lost cause and another friendship broken up at the hands of reality television? Also, what do you guys think about this idea that production may have manipulated that footage to make it seem as though Mia said something or kind of made it seem as though she meant something that she really didn't mean? Let us know in the chatterization down below. And we will catch you in the next video.